Nicole.
Ingrid, hello.
So, what movie did we just watch?
We watched Barbie, Princess and the Pauper.
Ah! We're sad that we can't have
Juice
with us.
Yes.
She's the
expert on this movie, yes.
Yes, this is our first musical.
This was beautiful. I watched it as a kid, but like when I was just too old for Barbie movies. And I promptly forgot everything that happened because I did not remember a single part of this movie except for the I'm just like you, you're just like me. But that's mostly because of a Tumblr post.
Yeah.
Start with our famous villain.
Our famous villain of the day is Martin Short.
Martin Short.
As Preminger, who is the villain with the most personality so far, I would say. I mean,
Yeah.
he's evil and really obviously
He's really
evil.
annoyingly evil, but I mean,
He
I
had a
have
song.
room in my heart for Never Release Your Prisoner.
Gothel is definitely the best.
Gothel is great. Listen.
Gothel is great.
Gothel planned like an 18-year-long
Yeah.
scheme.
Just because some
Just
dude
because
didn't
she's
like her.
petty.
Anyway, we're not talking about
Okay,
Rapunzel.
we're done with Rapunzel. So this movie, first of all, in the beginning they really don't look that similar because Barbie with brown hair suddenly does not look like
No,
herself
because
at all.
we were saying she's so tanned that once you give her brown hair, she's just like any person with brown hair would
Right.
look like. But when she's Barbie,
she
she's
looks like a California girl.
yeah, real tan, real light blonde hair.
Yeah. I was expecting this movie to be more about the friendship between the two girls,
Yeah,
and that was
but
not
no,
the case.
They'd barely interact.
There were a lot of cats and dogs in this movie and horses.
There was a song about
A
how
cat being like a dog. You're not a status quo calico. You're a doggish cat.
because he has to hear her singing. That's why.
Yeah, Dominic. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen this movie, Barbie was supposed to marry the king.
Another
And he's
king.
in disguise, and then he falls in love with the other brown-haired Barbie in disguise.
Because she's in disguise as...
And then they're like gonna get married, and so then he ends up marrying her, and actual Barbie marries her
tutor.
true love, Julian. Which was actually really cute.
It was really
because
cute.
they
This
had
is
been.
the thing.
She was like, "He's my best friend. We've known each other for years. Like, I'm in love with him." And I'm like, "Wow, it's finally someone you didn't just meet on the
Yep.
street and decide to
Yeah.
marry."
Yeah, honestly, the best part of this movie is the two romances.
It was
which is
actually
crazy
really
because
good.
there are two of them, so you
they're
expect
still
them to have like
good,
way
yeah.
less time. But like the other
'cause
ones
what-
are just so bad.
They only had to build up the Dominic one because the other one we distrusted because at the beginning they were already friends.
And because Julian's very likable and he does a lot to help
he
both
does
of them out.
and he's cool.
And
He's
he can
kind of like
smell shit.
Vlad and Dimitri. Like he gives her little
Yeah.
princess training montage.
Yeah. That was good. I
That
like
was
the
cute.
princess
The
training
songs
montage.
in this were quite good. I will
Yeah.
say that. Like
They were actual like they had written
they
them
actually
and put
tried
effort.
to make
And
good
they
songs. The first
all-
song was very like Frozen stole from this movie. Like they're like
It was very
you know,
first
for
time
the
in
first
forever.
time in
Yeah.
forever.
But they all sounded like musical theatre songs.
Yeah.
One thing that will come up as we go into the later ones is that they just have kind of two pop
Pop
songs
songs.
in it. Yeah. And they had a villain song, which they never have in
The
the
villain
later
song
ones.
was absurd,
It was
but
awful,
they did have
but
one.
they have it. So, you know.
It had choreography. The funniest thing about this movie is that the entire plot of this movie is that Barbie, whatever, Annalise and Erica look exactly the same, but everyone in Barbie looks exactly the same.
Yep.
The princess looked exactly the same. Dominic just had slightly squintier eyes. Like, the
There
two
was,
little
like-
Kellys looked exactly
yeah,
the same.
there was a maid that came in and she looked the same as Barbie.
Yes! Like, there
Um,
were these two guys that were like the henchmen of Preminger.
They looked exactly the
They
same.
looked exactly the same.
I think that them looking exactly the same was supposed to be kind of a nod. Like, they were supposed
oh,
to be
they're
like, they're twins, and also like, oh, see, they look the same, blah, blah, blah. But the rest of them looking the same is just because
It's
that's
just
the
'cause
animation.
that's how Barbie movies work.
Yeah.
We saw the baker from Rapunzel.
Yes.
We saw one of the guards from Rapunzel.
Yep.
They're just recycling characters now. Not even changing their outfits at all.
Nope.
Straight up exactly the same.
It's so weird because this one, they definitely had the most outfits they've ever had.
Yeah, because she was a seamstress.
She was a seamstress, and then she had another like dress to wear as the princess, and like
And
Dominic
they all
had
had their
two
wedding
outfits.
dresses.
Yeah,
Dominic was in disguise.
yeah, he
and
was
then-
in disguise, like, and then he was in a night outfit, and then he was
Yeah.
like, and then they all had wedding outfits. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they couldn't be asked to put her hair up when it was in
No,
the wig.
God. Oh, my God. Okay, number one pet peeve of this movie. Every time Erica puts on the wig, the blonde wig, to become Annalise, and then the wig comes off, it's just her hair again, in her perfect little
And she has
hairstyle
this
with all her
little
little
braid
curls.
up here.
And it's like, you could have at least, like, pretended that she pinned it up
Yeah.
to put this wig on. She didn't just take the wig and go swoop, and then it's just perfect. It's great. That's how wigs work.
So Annalise's whole thing is set up in the beginning that she's good at science and she's clever, and that's her whole deal. And that pays off in a couple of ways, except not really, because
Not really.
she
They
well,
could have
she
figured out the water thing
they could have
without
figured
her
out the
being a
water thing.
scientist.
Yeah, but she did that, and
But
that was
she found
cool.
the geodes.
And the best thing, I think the best thing about the whole movie is
Is
that
that Julian has the most in-depth knowledge of smells
his nose
of plants.
is so powerful. It's so...
So, how Julian solves so many of these mysteries is through smelling plants. First, he smells the little, like, because he knows that Annalise loves roses, right? So he smells this letter that was supposedly from Annalise that he found on her dresser.
And it wasn't that he didn't recognize her handwriting.
No, it wasn't that at all. He smells it. He goes, "Lilac? Where did you find this?" And Preminger says,
On the princess's desk.
and he says, "She never scents her stationery with lilac. It's always with roses. This is fake."
Rose.
And then later, Preminger is walking and a little leaf falls off of his shoe, and Julian picks it up.
The cat does give it to him.
Oh,
it's not
okay.
just he picks it up and he can smell it from there.
But he finds this leaf that was on
Yeah.
Preminger's shoe, and he smells it and he goes,
From a silver fir tree.
and then he finds the silver fir trees, and that's where Annalise was locked up.
Yeah.
But he's such a botanist, like these
He's
science
so good.
bros.
I really enjoy
These two
him.
are gonna get married and just have science time together,
Literally.
and then like freaking Dominic and
There's a
Erica
bit-
are gonna get married and
Yeah.
just have music time together.
What I was actually going to say as well as Julian, which is great.
That was the best part of the movie.
So basically, Erica's dream is
Oh,
to
yeah,
sing.
yeah.
And she
And
sings
travel
all
the
the time,
world
and she
and-
wants to travel the world singing. And so at the end, she's like,
And she's been an indentured servant this whole time.
yeah.
So at the end, Annalise pays
Annalise
off her debt.
pays off her debt, and Dominic's like, "Will you marry me?" And she's like, "I've always wanted to travel the world and sing." And he's like, "Well, will you take this with you?" And he gives her a ring, and she's
like, "No promises."
and he goes, "I'll take my chances." And I was like,
And she just goes off and travels the world and sings. And then they say, like, after many months of traveling and singing, Erica realized she wanted to come back home and marry Dominic. But she did live her dream.
She did live her
of traveling
dream,
around and
then
singing.
and also Annalise waited until
Yeah, and then
Erica
they had a
got
joint
back.
wedding, and then they went on a joint
So
honeymoon.
either it had taken them that long to plan this big ostentatious wedding, and then
Probably.
Annalise was like, "I'm gonna get
Hey,
Erica
join
to
me."
come back in," or Erica was like, "I'm coming home," and Dominic was like, "Oh, we're gonna get married right away," and Annalise was like, "Cool, we're getting married right now."
Annalise and Erica didn't even really know each
No,
other
they
that well.
didn't.
They barely interacted.
I feel
mean,
like-
Julian and Erica became better friends than Annalise and
That's
Erica.
true. They must be good friends.
That's cute.
There was a bit at the end, so like when Preminger runs off, he gets on the horse. There's
The horse straight up almost committed murder.
The horse is amazing. He's got an accent.
Yeah.
So he's French, and Preminger gets on this horse and he's running, and the two boys like both get on horses, and we were like, look at these boys.
Look at these boys, these strapping young men.
Off they go. The whole thing has been they
The
had an
horse has been
arc
helping
for
them the whole
horse.
time.
Yeah, the horse has been helping them, but he's also like he's really scared of shit. Like Serafina had to stab him in the butt to get him to throw her.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, and he got the whip with his mouth, and then he stopped, and we were like,
he's straight up gonna
Is
throw
he
this
gonna-
guy off a cliff. And then he turns around and just
turns
brings him back to the
yeah.
wedding, and then he crashes
Like-
through the wedding cake.
Jesus.
There was no
There was no
Kelly.
Kelly.
At the beginning, there was no Kelly. There was no telling a story to Kelly.
Well, she told a story.
She told a story to us, the viewers, but
Yeah.
not Kelly.
She
Kelly
was
wasn't
like,
there.
Once upon a time, an amazing thing happened.
Two
baby girls
born
were
at the
born.
same time. And they were identical.
And they weren't twins.
Not only was there no Kelly at the beginning to be told this story to and learn a lesson at the end, but there was no Kelly presence in the movie.
There were two
little Kellys that were in one scene when she's like, look how free they are. They can do whatever they want. And then they show back up and they're flower girls at the wedding. And that's literally
That's it. Just so you can
They don't
sell
even
them.
talk.
I had
They
them.
don't even talk.
They're just like
1 star for Kellys for this movie.
different.
5 stars for music, except that cat song, which gets 0
I
stars.
mean, the cat song was like a fine song. It just had no reason.
It was
to
so
be
weird.
there.
This one has had the best romance so far.
Yes, definitely.
I still think Gothel's the best villain.
Gothel is the best villain. I agree. I think that one thing is the side characters has been the best because they've been allowed to speak like normal people.
I still like Penelope and Hobie better.
Oh, well, yeah, no, Penelope is great. That's the thing. Penelope has a better arc than these
these weirdo cats.
These weirdo cats. But also she talks normally.
Yeah.
But these 2 voice actors specifically.
Yeah, these 2 voice actors who had to be the, like, Hispanic skunk and weird German porcupine got to be, like, actual people in this movie.
They had real voices.
Or actual cats.
Yeah,
and they
actual
also had to
cats.
sit there and go, like, woof, woof.
It was a good movie. I mean, it was silly, but
Here's
it held
the thing.
together.
Here's what I would change about this movie.
Yeah.
Too much cats.
Yeah.
There was too much of the
The
cat
plot
side
was too
plot.
much to do with the cats rather than the
The
girls
people.
doing stuff.
It-
I enjoyed all of the Julian doing stuff. Like
Julian
that was
great. Keep everything about Julian and his
Yes.
killer nose.
Julian
Keep
exactly the same.
everything about Dominic and his disguises and how much he loves costumes.
See, this is the thing. What I would have loved is if there was a point where Annalise and Erica could team up to
that would have been good.
do
I wish
something.
that there was more of a relationship between Annalise and Erica.
Yeah. The romances, they built them over time,
those were
but the
good.
girls met and they were like,
The girls
we're
met.
best friends
They were like,
immediately.
"You're just like me," and they were like, "We're the same person," and I'm like, "You're not though."
You're not, though.
They had almost nothing in common, but Erica was like, what we have in common is we both want to be somewhere else. Yeah, that can be said about anyone who's ever
Yeah.
had a job. I
And-
did not like the villain. He was ridiculous. And all he said was, how can I refuse?
How can I refuse?
How can I refuse?
He was having fun. Mutton Short was having
Yeah,
fun.
well, that's true.
Shout out to the voice of the Erica singer. I will find her name because I think she
She's a
shows
better
up again
singer
and
than
she's
Barbie.
a better singer than
Well,
the
she
Barbie
was
singer.
the singer in this movie. So
Yeah.
That's part
But
of it.
the Barbie actress had to play both Erica and Barbie in this movie, but I think usually the Teresa character is voiced and sung
She
as the
had
same
a different
person.
voice.
Yeah, but no, it was the same woman. It said Barbie and Erica.
Oh, well, she did a different voice for...
Yeah, she did a lower
Erica.
voice. That's why she had the same, like, cadence and everything. But I've already paid off more than half.
Yeah, it was
I
exactly
know,
the same,
knew
but she
all
sounded
of the quotes
different.
in this one.
Yeah. This was her, like, nobody
Yeah.
listens to the rabbit.
We have 20, maximum 22 minutes to get to the Horticultural Society tea.
Which I'm sure Julian knows all about.
Yes. Good God. Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That was fun.